through the shadows where the storms collide. She stands with courage as her guide. Her whispers echo louder than screams, faithful to God through broken dreams. She's the silent storm, unshaken, strong. Through the trials, she's where hope belongs, a survivor standing tall, unbound. Her voice a beacon breaking the cloud. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive.
Thought I was muted. Hello, hello, everyone. Peace, 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 and blessings to you. It's good to be here on this Tuesday evening, late evening, and we're going to be talking about Miranda rights versus volunteer statements on today. Um, what made me talk about this because I had to go. We was on another panel and they was talking about that. Everybody thought something different. Even I thought something was different. That's why I said, let me go look at this more and find and do some research on it. And I did find a video as well from an expert that's going to be talking about that as well. So thank you all for tuning in on this beautiful, beautiful day. And it's so much love to you all. So please thumbs me up as you come into Forever Lisa's Royal Jewels Palace Room, known as Safe Haven over here. Please thumbs me up. Please share me out and let people know that I am live today. It's like I said, it's real table talk, and it's all about Ramika. Okay, we're going to talk about Ramika too, as well as I be going, with this Ramanda. So I have real table talk every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30, and I dedicated Tuesdays to talk more about Ramika over here, okay? Because I am team, I'm definitely team Ramika. I believe justice is coming soon. It's coming real soon. I do believe it. I do believe, okay? I do not believe that it was self-defense at all. I didn't believe that from day one, because don't nobody deserve to get unalive, especially when they do not have nothing on them. Okay, so welcome to my channel, everyone. And before we go ahead and get this started, I just want to welcome everybody in first. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. And I might, welcome to Forever Lisa Jewels Palace Room, known as Safe Haven, where it's real talk with real people in real life. You will see God's love, peace, joy, happiness, unity, and respect over here. Okay. This is a place that show nothing but love and will show nothing but God's love. Okay. This live stream is a discussion. I'm talking about Today, it's an opinion or thought. If the shoe fit, just wear it. Okay. Also, this video of discussion knowing your rights. If your Miranda rights were not read, can your voluntary statement be used against you? So we're gonna see what the experts gonna say on here. Hey, Joy, how you doing, Joy? Peace and blessings. So good to see you, girl. So we're gonna be talking. Oh, what did I did? We just gonna be talking about. I didn't ran my thing, made it too big. Hold on, y'all, because I can't see the chat. I don't know. I don't know what I didn't hit. It's over here. Hold on, y'all. Trying to get it back. Oh my God. Did I get it back smooth? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I don't know what I did. Lord have mercy. I don't know what I didn't hit. I'm trying to, because I cannot see the chat. I cannot see the chat. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Lord have mercy. Minimize. Here we go. No, that's not it. Lord Jesus. Okay, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. What I didn't hit? Okay, I found it. Oh, Lord, that scared me. It took my whole screen. I couldn't see anything. Oh my God, that scared the mess out of me. So we're gonna Lord have mercy, Jesus. Lisa, what are you doing here, girl? So, like I said, this video discussion, knowing about your rights. If your Miranda rights were not read, can your volunteer statement be used against you? So we're gonna hear what the expert got to say about that. Okay. Now I definitely want to put my disclaimer up because information that I got, I did research and stuff and they're telling what I'm gonna be playing. So I want to mention my copyright as well. Okay, and we're gonna read that together. Let me put the banner up for you guys so you guys can see that with me. Okay, gonna put that up real quick, really quick. Okay, where you at? There you go. There we go. Okay. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. It's also going across my ticker as well. Okay. So I definitely like to put to keep my fair use up there. Okay. So let me go ahead and remove that down real quick. And we finna go ahead and um, let the people know that I am not no preacher here. Okay. I'm not no counselor. I'm not no therapist or doctor. I'm just a willing vessel being used by God for his purpose, not man. I have no license and none of this stuff. Everything that I'm reading from where I found out, where I researched some stuff at. Okay. So please go back and search the things for yourself. Do not say that, where you got this from, you got it from me, because this everything that I'm reading is actually where I found on Google, and I found it through other statements and stuff like that. Okay, so go. The best thing to do is go talk to your lawyer or whatever else, somebody that know more about this. Okay. So all mods as a content creator, please drop your link. And like I said, all are welcome. Good vibes only. Speak your mind and move on. Okay. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to my chat. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Thank you so much. I love that song. Okay. Song that was made up by Uni. Uni made this for me. So shout out to Uni and her creativity. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and get started here. Okay. What I'm going to say now, Chicago, Illinois. I asked a question. When I asked this question on Google, you can ask Google anything and it just go find it and research it and bring it to you. So I did ask Google, okay, about Chicago, Illinois law in a murder case. Can a volunteer statement be used in court if the Miranda rights was not read? Okay. And this what it tells me. Yes, it says a volunteer statement can still be used in court even if a Miranda rights were not read, because Miranda only applies to custodial integration if the statement was truly voluntary and not made during the custodial interrogation. Okay. It is generally admissible. However, if the statement was a result of a custodial interrogation without being read the Miranda warnings, it is likely inadmissible, but the defense must raise the issue in court to have it suppressed. Okay. In which I had to look up the word, see what inadmissible mean, and what that means, especially of evidence in court, it's not accepted as valid. Okay, so if you being interrogated in the courtroom, if you being not in the courtroom, but in the police station, if you're being interrogated, you're being questioned there and stuff like that, it cannot be used against you, going by what I'm understanding, even what the expert has said. Only time you not have to have your Miranda rights read to you if you just came out and just start talking. Okay, volunteer and start talking on your own. You know what I'm saying? The police wasn't, he's not there to arrest you. He's not there for that. But you just constantly talk, and then you might get arrested next week. They could use that against you because they was asking you no question. You volunteered to say that, okay? That was your volunteer to talk about that. Okay. And so that's what it says. Okay. But when a voluntary statement can be used, we also going to hear what the expert says about this as well. Okay. I got a little small video about 10 minutes long. I'll let you guys listen to it as well. When a voluntary statement can be used, voluntary statements without custodial interrogation, if a person make a statement without being prompted by police and without being in custody, Miranda warnings are not required. This includes spontaneous or voluntary statement made before an arrest or questioning, like I said before. Statements made before custody, if the statement was made before police interrogation began and before the person was in custody, it can be admissible. Okay. Again, if the police asking you these questions, you know what I'm saying? Before he do his Miranda right, they can admissible it. Okay, they can. Okay, but if you just come out just talking, he ain't asking you no question. You just come out talking. Yes, it can be used against you. When a statement might not be used, okay? A statement made during custodial interrogation, okay? And the question was when a statement might not be used, okay? If the statement was made after the person was in custody and was in response and questioning, the statement is likely inadmissible because Miranda rights were not read. So if the police officer know they are going to arrest you, put you in their custody, and you go out there and start and they're asking you questions, you don't have to answer. Okay. This is for anybody. Okay. So we just want to make sure that we get everything right, because even at the crime scene with Romika, when everybody was talking, the police wasn't asking no questions. You know, everybody they just came what everybody said. And they can use that, you know, once Romika case go to trial against against the young lady, they can use that stuff because they was asking those people those questions. They were just coming out telling, saying who did what, saying what happened, telling their side. Okay. So impeachment purpose. Even if a statement is suppressed as directed evidence, it might still be used by the prosecution to impeach the defendant if they choose to testify at trial. Okay. And what to do if your statement was not read your Miranda rights. Okay. First thing you want you to do is contact a lawyer. It is extension to consult with the criminal defense attorney to determine the specific of your case. Okay. File a motion to suppress or a motion of discovery. Your lawyer can file a motion to have the statement excluded from the evidence room. Okay. So that's why the police officer, that's why they really taking their time of building this case, because they don't want to make no mistake. They want to make sure that they did a Miranda rights at the right time, and then they didn't do it at the right time. So they want to make sure when they said Holly and the dude Carlos had went to jail. You know, they told their cars and they went to the police station. I'm gonna say jail, they went to the police station. And hopefully, you know, we hoping that they did do their part. They questioned it. I mean, they gave them the Miranda rights before they questioned them. Okay. But anything they said out there in those streets and they didn't ask no questions, they can still use that. Okay, I didn't look this stuff up, but I didn't listen to it. So hey, I've been learning a lot since I've been um following her. Okay, following Romika. Okay, you also the burden of proof on the defense. Your legal team must argue that your were violated and the statement should not be used in court. Okay, so if they did their jobs correctly and right during that crime, they can use every word that was spoken out there. They can use that. Okay, especially if you the one, especially if you the defendant, you out there just running your mouth, just talking. You know what I'm saying? And they can use that against you. Yes, they can. Because they didn't ask you for that. They wasn't questioning you about that. Okay. That's the Miranda rights that is there. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna play this video. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, make sure that you know, hopefully with stuff like this, and hopefully the police officers, wherever city, wherever state that they are in, you know, hopefully they read the rights to the people, so that way if they start talking after they got them read their rights, hey, that's on them. Okay, because they had a right, they should tell you had a right to remain silent. The knowledge that ending that say can be used against you in court. Okay. You had a right to speak with an attorney. The court will provide a lawyer if they are unable to afford one. And the right to have a lawyer present for any questioning. Okay. That's your Miranda rights. So again, if you speaking out in public and the police is not asking you any questions and you just running off the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it can be used against you. But if they start asking you questions there and they did not do your Miranda rights, only if they was asking you questions, then they cannot use it against you. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and hear what this expert explained. He's not from out of Chicago. I could find anybody from Chicago to speak. So he's from um where he from? I can't remember. Well, you will hear where he's from. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and screen share this, and we're gonna listen to this. This is definitely okay. We're gonna listen to this. Hold on, real quick. Let me get this off. Okay, there we go. Oh, where I'm at. Where am I at? We're gonna screen share and we're gonna listen to what they got to say. I enjoy, working on this and looking, seeing it, what it means. So I'm glad that I definitely got an understanding of the Miranda rights. So, it's helping me out for myself, if I happen, something happened. I know, he can't question me. You know what I'm saying? But I know if I give him stuff without him questioning me, I know he can use that against me. So it's good to know. It's much good to know. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start listening to him, okay? Let's see.
In this video, I'm going to explain to you why the cops actually don't have to read your Miranda rights. Hi, I'm 𝘠𝘯𝘰𝘪. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Tucson, Arizona, and I help people fight for their freedom and protect their future. Let's get on with the video. So yeah, you heard me right. The cops actually don't have to read your Miranda rights. I mean, I get this question so many times, like, hey, Javier, they didn't read me my Miranda rights, so, we can get the case dismissed, right? That's not how it works. Miranda actually doesn't talk about dismissing a case. So I'm sure you guys have all seen these TV shows where, the dramatic moment comes and they catch the guy, they cuff him, they put him in the car, and they read him his Miranda rights, stuff like that. And yeah, that's what they should do, but they don't have to do it. But don't lose hope. Miranda is a very good decision and does protect your rights. It's just not as good as you think it is, and it's not as powerful as you think it is, but it does have some significant teeth, and it is a very important decision as far as your constitutional rights are concerned. So, but the best way for me to explain to you why the cops don't actually have to read your Miranda rights is we need to start with a little bit of a background. Where does the Miranda case come from? How did that came to be? The major issue in the Miranda case is the protection of the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, right? The Supreme Court basically decided that there had to be significant safeguards in place to protect your privilege against self-incrimination, which is contained in the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution. Among many other things that the Fifth Amendment says, it says that no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. That means that the cops can't force you to testify against yourself. They can't force you to rat yourself out, right? I mean, if you did something wrong, you don't have to admit it. That's basically what the Constitution says, right? Well, in Miranda, the court looked at this and looked at police practices and decided that certain things needed to be protected, basically protect your privilege against self-incrimination. But let's go back to how it began. So back in 1963, a man by the name of Ernesto Miranda, he lived up in Phoenix. I think he was from Mesa, Arizona. But anyway, he was charged with kidnapping and rape. And he was actually arrested and he was taken into custody by the police. And he was taken into what the court calls a special interrogation room. And he was there in that room for approximately 2 hours with two officers. After those 2 hours, the officers came out with a signed confession. That confession was used at his trial, and he was convicted and sentenced to 20 to 30 years in prison. He appealed that conviction to the Arizona Supreme Court. The Arizona Supreme Court confirmed the conviction, and actually, when it came to the allegations of his constitutional rights and the way he was questioned, his attorney raised the issue, well, he wasn't given a lawyer, stuff like that. And the court actually said, the Arizona Supreme Court said, well, there is no violation of his constitutional rights because he never asked for a lawyer. The issue was he was never told he had a right to a lawyer in the first place, right? So the case went up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And along with 4 other cases with very similar facts, the U.S. Supreme Court considered, well, what protections do we need to ensure that the privilege against self-incrimination is protected, right? What safeguards are required? Because the court analyzed how a person in the room with officers and, the whole situation, like over Burger Road, you're not thinking straight. You're scared, right? There's a lot of things. And then officers know how to ask questions and poke you and pressure you and put you in a situation where you start making admissions, right? It's just the court said, well, there needs to be some protection, some safeguards, right? So the court eventually overturned Miranda's conviction. And the ruling basically says, in a nutshell, it says that a prosecution cannot use statements stemming out of a custodial interrogation of the defendant unless the prosecution demonstrates that it used procedural safeguards effective to secure the privilege against self-incrimination. So basically what the court said is, if you're going to want to use these statements you get when you lock people in a room and start asking them questions, you have to show the court that this person's rights were protected and that you had safeguards that allow this person to understand, know, and exercise his privilege against self-incrimination if he so wanted to. So the court said, whatever process you have, at the very least, that person must be warned of the following. He has a right to remain silent. Anything he say can be used as evidence against him. He has a right to consult with a lawyer before questioning and to have a lawyer present during questioning, and that lawyer can be either retained or appointed if he can't afford an attorney. That's what the court said. At the very least, you have to tell him that. The court doesn't require a specific language so long as this information is properly conveyed to a defendant. So, cops nowadays just read it. That's easy, but that's basically what it is. The court found that Miranda was never told that he had a right to an attorney, that he have a right to an attorney present during interrogation, and that there was no evidence that any safeguards to protect his privilege against self-incrimination were present. And his conviction got overturned. In a nutshell, is what the Miranda case is about. And that's where your Miranda rights or your Miranda warnings actually come from. Court said you have to be given these warnings before custodial interrogation begins, right? But only for purposes, only for purposes of allowing the use of your statements at your trial. If you notice, none of that ruling says that, everything has to be dismissed and your case is over. No. In fact, it doesn't even require that those warnings be read. It only says that in certain circumstances, custodial interrogation, if the prosecution wants to use the statements obtained from you under those circumstances, they have to show that the warnings were given or that other safeguards were taken. Now, that didn't end Ernesto Miranda's case, right? The case went back to the state and other things happened. So if you want to know what happened, stay till the end of the video and I'll tell you what actually happened to Mr. Miranda. It's a very interesting story. But anyway, let's go back to the video itself. So now we know, when are the Miranda warnings required? Well, basically, right, when a custodial interrogation is present, right? If the cops or if the prosecution wants to use your statements that came from a custodial interrogation, they must have given you your Miranda warnings or some functional equivalent or some other safeguards to protect your rights. It must be in place. In short, they have to tell you that you have these rights. Right? So custodial interrogation, what is it? This is questioning initiated by law enforcement officers after a person has been taken into custody or otherwise deprived of his freedom of action in any significant way. Mouthful, huh? Again, custodial interrogation, custody, right? So what is it? Well, there's two things. There's two elements here, right? The custodial element and the interrogation element. So interrogation, let's start with that one. It's a little easier. So what is interrogation? Well, questioning, right? It's expressed question. Hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Did the other thing, right? That's an interrogation. But that's not the only thing. The U.S. Supreme Court in Rhode Island v. Ennis held that interrogation or its functional equivalent would trigger the Miranda warning requirements, right? So long as custodial. But what is the functional equivalent? Well, the court said and explained that it's not just questions. An interrogation is not just asking questions, but it's also any words or actions by the police or detective, investigator, the prosecutor, whoever is asking you questions, right? That the police should know are reasonably likely to elicit an incriminating response from the suspect. Well, what does that mean? Well, it just basically you have to argue it and see if the judge agrees with you in your specific case. But here's an example. In a federal case, the defendant was arrested and he invoked. It was a federal case, U.S. v. Montana, I believe. And the defendant invokes and says, no, I don't want to answer questions. Okay. So when he's being transported to court in the vehicle, one of the officers in the car kind of told him something to the effect of any cooperation will be brought to the attention of the U.S. attorney. Well, the court there found, well, you know what? I mean, that is words or actions that are, reasonably likely to elicit an incriminating response because, yes, you're asking him to admit to something, then telling him it'll help. That's questioning. That's the functional equivalent of questioning, right? So that's the interrogation component of Miranda. The other component, custody to a regular human being, custody is pretty straightforward, right? Most people find this to be, well, if you're not free to leave because the cops are not letting you leave, well, you're in custody. Most of the time that would be true, but there might be some exceptions. So the courts have told us that there's certain factors that need to be identified and reviewed to see if you are in actual custody. So the location of the interrogation, if the investigation was focused on you, any objective indicia of arrest, length of interrogation, the age of the suspect, right? So there's a bunch of factors. So an iffy situation would be, for example, if you get stopped on a traffic stop, right? You're still in your car, you're just talking to the officer. Well, maybe not. Just depends on a bunch of facts, right? I'm sure the officers can say, no, he wasn't in custody, so I don't have to read him rights. So it just depends. Right. But just a regular encounter with the cops would not be enough. Right. If the cops come knock on your door, right, and you're at home, you're probably not in custody. So there has to be some kind of show of authority, some indicia of arrest, some indicia that the cops are kind of limiting your freedom of action in a significant manner. Right. So for example, the traffic stop, the cop would probably say, well, that wasn't a significant. It was just incident to the ticket and I was going to let him go and that's it. And then he confessed to crime. I mean, that's probably what they're going to say. Right. You got to look at all the circumstances. Right. Now, if you're told you're under arrest or they put cuffs on you, I think that's pretty much a gimme. There are other situations. I mean, I've had clients who, cops come to their home and they talk. Probably not custodial, so they don't have to read your rights there. Okay. Now, what about if you're in custody? Do they have to read your rights? Well, if they want to use your statements at trial, they do. But if they don't have to. I mean, I've had cases where they never asked my client any questions. So, they pick up the guy, they arrest him, they take him to jail, they process him and whatever. And they never go talk to him because they have video or whatever. They have other evidence. So they don't need an interview, right? They don't have to read your rights because there is no interrogation, right? Even though you're in custody, right? So if you're not in custody, they don't have to read your rights. If you're not being interrogated, they don't have to read your rights. So for example, if you just start talking without anybody asking you questions or prodding you to elicit some kind of incriminating response, they don't have to read your rights, right? Those are spontaneous statements by the suspect. So if you talk and nobody's asking you questions, they can use that against you even if they didn't read your rights. So it just depends on the facts and the situations of the specific case to determine whether they do or they do not have to read your rights. So pro tip, if you ask, am I free to leave? No. Then shut up. Literally, if you're not free to leave, just shut up, ask for a lawyer, and you'll figure it out later. Whatever you say to anybody, you should assume they're going to try and use it against you. So just don't. There's some exceptions to the Miranda warnings. The routine booking questions, for example, those have been held they don't have to read your rights to get your booking questions. The question is going to be if those booking questions, one of them would be the element of one of the offenses or something, that might be a problem. But in general, courts say booking questions, the purpose is just record keeping and pretrial services and whatnot. So you never know. Booking questions, iffy. Probably they're going to come in. But definitely your lawyer should try and keep them out. If they are incriminating in any fashion, your lawyer should try and keep them out. You definitely file your motion and try and convince the judge that in this specific instance, those booking questions were clearly directed at producing an incriminating response and not for booking purposes, right? It just depends, right? Now, another exception is there's a public safety exception. So if the cops, they have an exigent circumstance where I don't know, there's a bomb or something, or there's an active shooter going on or whatever, is they say, hey, who's there? What's going on? Who's shooting? How many people are inside? Stuff like that.
Thank you, Chill. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I've been monetized. I've been monetized since 2018. Thank you, though. Peace and blessings to you.
right? So when there's an issue of public safety, they need to address immediately. If there's some exigency there, they can actually ask you and not read your rights and potentially introduce those statements in a trial against you. But they can't go beyond that public safety need. So that's basically it. So that's why the cops don't have to read you your Miranda rights. If they don't want to ask you questions, they don't have to read your rights. If they don't want to use your statements, they don't have to read your rights, right? If you're not in custody, they don't have to read your rights. If they're not asking you questions and you're just talking, they don't have to read your rights. And if they had to read your rights and didn't do it and got some statements, then you can move to preclude those statements from trial. So that's why the cops don't have to read your rights. The Miranda warnings are an absolute prerequisite to an interrogation, to a custodial interrogation. But the only reparation you will get is the preclusion of those statements if they actually stem from the custodial interrogation. Your case won't be dismissed. And if you're warned in custody, then all of those statements are going to come in. So if they come to your house, it's very typical that the cops will come to your house and say, hey, we have this call, we have this report, we like to get your side of the story or whatever. Yeah, well, that's not a custodial interrogation. That's clearly a voluntary, consensual encounter. Whatever you say to them, they can use against you, and they don't have to tell you or read you your rights. So that's basically what Miranda requires. Now, I did promise you to tell you what happened with Ernesto Miranda. So Mr. Miranda's case got remanded back to the state court. Eventually, he got prosecuted again. They did not use his confession, but what they did do is apparently a woman, I think they call her his common law wife or whatever, testified that he apparently confessed to her, and therefore they used those statements. He got convicted again. He got 20 to 30 years or whatever. And then Mr. Miranda eventually, years later got paroled. And one of the things that he actually ended up doing, he was actually autographing Miranda cards for money, apparently, according to some sources online. Here's a picture of one alleged Miranda card autographed by Mr. Miranda. And then eventually, when he was out on parole or whatever, there was some kind of bar fight, he got stabbed and died. So yeah, and that's why the cops don't have to read you your Miranda rights. So if you or somebody you care about is facing criminal charges and you need to talk to somebody, in the description down below, you'll find my contact information, my booking information. Feel free to give me a call or book your appointment. I'll give you a free consultation. We'll talk about your case, figure out if we're the right fit. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
Okay, there we go. They don't have to read the Miranda rights. It depends. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the case. Okay, so that's what I want. So now, because I thought, I always had thought that they don't read you your Miranda rights, that they cannot use it against you in court. But you got it's that word volunteer statements. If you volunteer your statement, you constantly talking, they can't use that against you. So it's good to know. It's good to know. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm not no criminal, so I'm learning. I'm in learning a whole lot since I've been doing this Justice for Ramika case. And also, I just want to share this with you guys as well. I thought it was a wonderful thing. Uh, okay, hold on. Let me share this. This is my little TikTok thing that I had did for Ramika. I thought it was nice that I had did it. I liked it. Should be real blessed at this by now. Okay. Justice for Ramika is coming. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's not going to let me play it. And it was devastating to her parents, her mom, her siblings, everybody that's close to her, and I also just want to mention as well. Let me go back over here. I think the ones that was tuning in, listening to me. It's a lot been going on with these YouTube streets with Ramika. Some people kind of being messy. They forgetting to stay together in unity. You know what I'm saying? It's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about no content creator. Not about nobody on Facebook. It's about justice for Ramika. And I just believe that we all should be together as a team and just to help get justice, for her. They don't need to argue. They don't need to fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. Some content creators is monetized and they are going to get paid through YouTube because they got a partnership with YouTube. So no matter what they talk about, no, a YouTube creator, content creator is going to get paid, especially if they are got a big channel, especially they got thousands of people in their chat. They're going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So, but she definitely the mom did come out. Miss Tina came out. you know, I don't like call her Miss Tina because she's my age. But yeah, Tina had came out and we're gonna read what she had said, okay? Um, this is what she said. And I'm gonna share so you guys can go ahead and read it with me, what she has said. And she's a very quiet woman, and she just wants justice for her baby. And we all grown enough and we should respect what she asked for. Let me see if I can get this wider. I don't know if I can get this wider or not. Oh, well, if you can't see it, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go ahead and read it to you guys, okay? She said, "Good morning, everyone." This is like a few days ago. Good morning, everyone. Glory to God. To support one daughter is to support us all. If you're here for Ramika, please don't let the devil in. Do not welcome outsiders, false narratives, or fake love. I've been silent. I have had enough. If it is not positive, please don't say anything at all. Please do not speak ill of any of my family during this difficult time. Even when you think you are doing so privately. Also, besides positive support and advocating for justice for Ramika, I do not personally approve any chaos, arguing, and have not spoken to anyone regarding, especially when it comes down to my daughter or any negativity. Briefly, I have conversed with someone once, and this call was brought to me by my sister. I am not combative. I am not confrontational. I am simply a mother in pain, a mother who lost her child, a mother whose new reality is a lot of dark days, a mother who wants justice. Still, all of you are appreciated for any positive light and love you. Bring my sweet daughter. Justice for Ramika. That's all she asks. She just want peace. She don't want no argument. You know what I'm saying? She don't want none of that stuff. All she wants is justice for her daughter. We all come together in unity as a team and bring justice and respect what she said. You know what I'm saying? That's what she want. Okay. Okay. This one is no, I don't want to do that one. I want this one. Here go another one that's what the family said as well. Okay, so I want to get that out here. That way it's all. I know other content creators have read it on their channels as well, and I also want to read it on my channel because it's all about justice for Ramika. Okay, all about justice for Ramika and being respectful um being respectful to what the family want. Okay, this is what the family. So we all grown here. We all grown. Act like you are adults. Okay, instead of being being childish. Okay, so this is something else that she had the family has said. She said, I just want to say that we don't care who's getting paid. We appreciate the support and how you guys are keeping our baby name alive. And trust me, if my mother had a problem with anything, she's very outspoken. So I want to put this to rest by saying, as y'all call her, if Mama Tina didn't inbox you with her concerns about anything, continue to do you just for Mimi. Okay? And that's what the mama wishes, okay? She don't care about she knows that a lot of content creators out here been out here for a long time, and a lot of them is not getting paid. It's not about they getting paid off of her daughter. They get paid off of whatever content that they do. Okay. Mama Tina, as a lot of you call her, or Miss Tina, as a lot of you call her, and Tina, people my age that will call her, this is what this is what she wants. She just wants justice. Okay. So everybody come together, be a team player. It don't matter who I think I heard an auntie said that, or heard somebody in the family say it don't matter who doing what, who got what, who did what first. It don't matter. It's all about um justice for Romika. That's what it's all about. Okay. So put your differences aside. It don't matter who's the bigger Facebook person, or who's the big, content creator or TikTok or whatever. It don't matter. We all for the same cause. So let's focus on the matter, okay, which is Ramika, okay? So she's a beautiful young mother, and she deserved justice. She deserved justice. It's a lot of people out here is talking about her. Okay, there's a lot of content creators out there is talking about her, even on Facebook, even on YouTube. So I want to shout them out. Shout out to Royal D, to Broken Book, Cold Piece TV, Keys News Network, Upper Echelon, Messy Sweet Spot. She also got another channel called Criminal Villains. Okay, Get Money Stepper, Politician Leader. Shit. Sorry, you don't like cussing with us to name her channel. Latte World, so many more out there that is justice for Romika. Okay, if I haven't called your name, probably because I haven't been to your channel just yet. But there's a lot of it's a lot, even for Belisa. Okay, I'm one of them. Shout myself out. Even on Facebook, Trouble Island. I get a lot of information from Trouble Island's page. She's over there on Facebook. Okay, Justice for Ramika with the number 4. Justice number 4 Ramika. Got a Facebook page with a lot of information. Also, Justice for Ramika Meeks. You spell 4 all the way out, FOR. Justice for Ramika Meeks also got a Facebook page with a lot of information. Okay, there's a lot of us out there that want justice. Is standing 10 toes down for justice for Ramika. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know what I'm saying? People that's going to watch it again during the replay, I thank you. Thank you for your thumbs up. Please make sure you make sure you thumbs me up. I'm also on the road to 3K. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost there. I'm getting there. So thanks to all the people who did sub to me. I appreciate you all. And I am going to do another random live. I don't know when. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely going to do one. I want to reach out to all the new people that's just now getting a YouTube channel. Just now, they could a lot of you guys coming from Facebook and making YouTube channels, and talking about Ramika. Okay, but after Ramika get justice, after Holly and Carlos, get locked up, you know what I'm saying? Once they do get locked up, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna probably still have your YouTube channel because this is what you're gonna be used to be doing. So I really want to talk to you guys. I want to warn you guys. I want you guys coming here blind like I did back in 2017, 2018. I didn't get my okay, I had my channel since 2015. Okay. But I did not start coming over here seeing people that it was live chats and stuff. I did not know that until 2017. And I was up under a couple YouTubers when they was doing the 𝘏𝑜𝘬𝘐𝑒𝑑𝑒𝑚 from Chicago, the young lady that was found in the freezer. And her case is still, they still don't know what happened to her. You know what I'm saying? But I believe her case is closed, because they just don't know what happened to her. And that's when I came and I didn't start going live myself until 2018, January the 9th of 2018, when I first started going live. Okay. And I've been monetized since 2018 because back then in those days, you can get monetized just like that. Believe it or not, because my channel used to be bumping. I used to have a lot of people in my live chats. I used to have panel fulls. I used to do all that stuff back then. Okay. It's a new day for me now. Okay. I did, it got slacked up a whole lot up over here. Okay. Because I'm not into that drama. That was not for me. And that's why I want to, talk to the new people about because you got to be careful. I've been through a lot on this YouTube. Okay. I've been through a lot. I really have. So I want you guys to be careful. I am gonna talk to you guys that's getting a YouTube channel. So I'm quite sure it's probably like this, probably on all platforms, but I know more about YouTube and Facebook. But I know YouTube could be something else. Okay. So please, once I when I do call all the newcomers up over here. Come just hear what I got to say. Okay, I'm not knocking no other content creator. I just want you to be careful. Okay, you got your own mind. If you're an adult and you grown and you move how you want to move, I just want you to just to watch out for certain stuff. Okay, see, I wasn't told that. I wasn't told that when I came up over here. Okay. So, but now I know. I know. That's why I rock. I'm my own person. Okay. I support who I want to support. Can't nobody, you find people going to try to use you as a puppet or try to get people to use you to tell you that where you can go, where you cannot go. Okay. You're gonna come across people like that the longer that you stay on here, even after the Ramika case is finished. Okay. At the charges, after they go to and they go on. Okay. You're gonna be so excited and stuff. You're gonna be so happy. But it's also good people on here too. But you got to make that discernment, had that discernment, and find out. We're gonna talk about it. I mean, just so I will be on here another 2 hours talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I really will. So everybody that's from Facebook, and I come on when I come live, make sure you guys come over here and y'all hear what I got to say. It just you can take that in, you can take it with you, put in your back pocket and just keep that memorized if you decide to stay over, on YouTube after the Ramika case is over with. Okay. So peace and blessings to you guys. I think that's all I had to say. I will be back on Thursday to my real table talk. I had no idea what I'm going to talk about during that day on Thursday. Like I said, Tuesdays is really, about Ramika, things that's going on in her case. And like I said, my prayers always for her mother, Tina, her siblings, her aunts, her sisters, her nieces, her nephews, her cousins, her friends, everybody that's even us, because we didn't got so connected with Ramika now. Like she's our niece too, or daughter, whatever you want to call her. You know what I'm saying? That's how close that we is because the young lady, my heart goes out every time I see her pictures out there. She got so many pictures, you guys, out there with her beautiful smile. I mean, I don't see nothing, negative out there that they try to show a few of them. Okay, we all get mad at times, But the girl was doing her thing. She changed her life. She was moving on with her new friend she had. She wasn't even thinking about her baby's daddy. She was in an RN school. She was elevating her life up for her and her son. And she got taken up out of here because of a jealousy. It was all jealous. It was all jealous. And when I see videos of that, I said that girl was jealous of Ramika. Ramika was a beautiful girl. She stayed dressy, you know what I'm saying, dressed up from head to toe, looked good on just about all of her videos that I have seen, to me. You know what I'm saying? And the girl wanted to be like her. I hate to say it. I mean, I hate to say it. She just wanted to be like her. You know? So I don't believe it was self-defense. I believe it was out of hatred. Okay? This is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it was out of jealousy, envy. You know, I do believe it. So, well, anyway, it's 6:25. And I'm getting ready to go ahead and end this live. And I hope I'm gonna try to do my random live. I want to go live Wednesday tomorrow. I can't do these lives back to back. I really can't. Because I get out of breath, you know, real easy. Because you know, many of you guys know that I had breast cancer. So I'm still going through treatments and stuff like that. This is what I got to wear. You guys can see this. I got to wear this right here for a while. I went for they got one coming in. They got one coming in. It's my sleeve. It's for my hand in my arm. In my arm. And hold on. Excuse me, sorry. It's for my hand in my arms. I also got to wear it's a pump. It's a pump for my arm. It's a pump for my chest to compress because I'm still kind of swole from my breast cancer right here. Excuse me, guys. Get to talking. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what that right here is for. But so thank you. I just wanted to show you that, you know, what I'm still going through. Okay. But you guys have a good night, a blessed night, and know that I love you. And remember, justice for Ramika. And I will see you Thursday. I'm gonna try to do that live that with the newcomers coming over here from Facebook to YouTube, getting YouTube channels. I'm probably gonna do that over the weekend, probably Saturday, okay, or Friday, okay, one of those 2 days. I'll find out for sure. I'll let you know, okay? So have a good night. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings.
Through the shadows where the storms collide, she stands with courage as her guide. Her whispers echo louder than screams, faithful to God through broken dreams. She's the silent storm, unshaken, strong. Through the trials, she's where hope belongs, a survivor standing tall, unbound. Her voice a beacon breaking the cloud. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret.